Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation, offering your sponsors customized.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes. I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Saturday afternoon. Might be Saturday morning still where you are, to be honest, but the B qualifier game here at the Saville U25 Challenge. Curling Stadium Edmonton presents this game to you from the Saville Curling Center. Today we have Myla Plett playing against Yuina Miura. Both these teams have played a couple of games now. Well, actually, Miura's played only 2 games, one of which was against Plett in the first round, and she was victorious in that game. And Plett's played actually 3 games. She lost, obviously, to Miura, and then came back with a couple of wins after that against Elliot Martins and Keely Duncan. Both solid wins, big scores. So obviously playing very well. And Miura's always kind of tough. Seen her a few times now. So it should be a great game. And as I said, this is a B qualifier. You lose this when you're not out, but you're getting down there into the C division where things get a little rocky when you do lose a game. You are out. So my name's Jim Nix. I'm hoping to be joined here today by Rory McCusker if he can get on. And we've got Connor Simpson production handling all the replays and all of that sort of thing. So thanks very much for joining us, and let's look forward to having a good game. First end, Plett has hammer. We're just a couple of rocks in, and Miura has one on the back of the 8-foot, and Plett's going to throw up the corner guard. Love the call. Haven't seen too much of this in the first end most of the year, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot of teams willing to mix it up a little bit in the first end, so nice to see that the Plett team doesn't play that way. Nice to see a little more aggression. If you're watching on our YouTube site and you want to have any comments, please feel free in the chat. Try to answer any questions you might have or get back to you with anything you might suggest. And we might need some help with names yet, so we might be asking you to kind of chime in with a little help on those. So that one overcurled quite a bit from where Miura would like to have it. It's almost a corner guard for the Plett team, to be honest, and they're going to take advantage of it and come right around. You certainly recognize a couple of names on this Plett team. If you're not familiar with Myla, certainly you'll hear a couple of names as we go on that you will probably be familiar with. Second stone, Chloe Fediak, I believe, is the name. Playing second with her first rock here in the first end. Very successful team. He's had a good run the last couple of years for sure. I don't have any of the stats on them, but hopefully we can find a few of those as we go. Maybe Connor can scare up a little information for us. I have a little bit on the Miura team, but not so much on the Plett team. Very nice shot for Fediak. See about half. Miura out of Nayoro, Japan. one of many Asian teams playing on the tour these days, and they are proving every year much harder and harder to beat. Technically, they're very, very sound. They know the game very well now, and I say now as opposed to a number of years ago. And they work very hard at it. Their associations, I'm sure, support them that way and allow them to do mostly curling. And they spend a lot of time here in Canada, so not what she was looking for, but at least she did get another rock in the rings. So that's thinking about where to go from here. With hammer. Well, we're only about 8 rocks in on our 8th rock, and we're taking quite a bit of time on a call here. Nothing really wrong with that, but just our game this morning was very, very long, and teams are going to move along pretty quick, or a little quicker than that. These teams are all very young. Obviously, a U25 event. Everybody has to be under 25 years of age, and some of the best curling junior teams, not junior, these U25 teams in the world are here. So they're very, very good players. They just sometimes lack a little bit in experience. They haven't had an opportunity to play a lot. They're just not that old. But very, very good players. And coached very, very well. Playing a hit on this. I didn't know if she'd play that. I thought she'd probably just draw. It's a little early. Might not have felt 100% about draw weight. This is going to work out pretty good, I think, if it doesn't roll out. But no, it's going to go out. So a break for the Korean team. No, the Japanese team, sorry. 1 game late. The game this morning was the Korean team. So Miura now will ask for the hit. Probably try to roll away from that corner guard. Third stone, E. Matsunaga. Very nicely done. So Miura sitting 2. That will ask for a hit, and she, on the other side of this, would actually prefer to roll behind the corner guard. Might be behind the tee line, but might stay a little bit above it, so she can get over there and bury it in there. Would be a good spot. Sweeper's going hard. Right on the nose. This is Alyssa Nedoin throwing that stone. As I mentioned, you will hear a couple of names that you're familiar with. And obviously, Alyssa's one of them. Parents very well known in the curling world. Matsunaga's second stone now. And she'll hit it right on the nose as well. Very well done. So I say these teams are very solid. All these players are very solid delivery-wise. You're not going to see too many mistakes on the delivery basis. Sometimes a little bit on weight control, but they're usually sliding straight at the broom. They don't do much with it. It's very fun to watch. Really, they're just very, very good at pretty young ages yet. This one should be okay. Not going to get the roll she was looking for, but it's all right. Be another hit here for the Miura team. This time, Yuina Miura herself. Going to play the out turn, it looks like. Yeah, lost her after winning her first game against Myla. She lost to Momoka Tabata. So the outturn hit coming. Might not hang on. A slight miss there. Gives Plett the opportunity to either go around the corner guard or hit the open one and be satisfied with the blank end. I think this early in the game, I don't know, she seems to be looking pretty hard at the come around. I think this early in the game, hitting that one's not a bad option either. It certainly doesn't, you don't end up with a force at all that way. But there is a risk of jamming it on the yellow. So she's going to play the outturn come around. Again, aggressive call. I can't fault anybody for being an aggressive player. I do like to see that. Just sometimes on that first or second end, you need to pick your spots a little bit. So if she's pretty comfortable with the ice and the weight, then go ahead and play it. Very worst case scenario is you do get forced into playing a draw to the probably only really the 8 foot for the one in the first end. It's not the end of the world for sure. It's a long way to curl, but we know how well they finish here, so this looks like this should end up pretty good. It's got enough. It's definitely got enough weight. That's a pretty nice first stone from Myla Plett. It is, I think, removable. It's not completely buried, and there's quite a bit of room behind the guard, so I think she can, Miura can certainly move it out, but regardless of that, that's a pretty nice shot for the very first rock of the game, especially going down a path that isn't the path that they use in practice so much. You know, you're going down the center of the sheet. Sometimes if you get fooled down the center of the sheet when you play games that have a practice session for last rock, because everybody plays that last rock draw, that same path, and then sometimes you come up to throw one down the middle and all of a sudden it stops like 8 feet short of the house just because you didn't really think it out a little bit. She did a great job. So Yuina Miura. This looks pretty good as well. Got to make it curl a little bit. And will it get over there? And it will definitely hit it. Now will it hang around? And no, it will not. So little break for Plett. She can play the outturn, peel that out. Blank the end. Dane hammer for the second end. Not that bad a shot by Miura. You couldn't afford to hit the guard, so you had to make sure on the weight that you had enough to get by that, and she did a fine job on that. So she would much prefer to stay, but it's the first end. Myla Plett looking to blank the first end here. Throw an outturn with a lot of rotation. Try to hit this on the high side, if you will, the outside, but she's not going to do that. It looks like she's probably going to score one. A bit of an error, but again, I don't get too upset with things in the first end. She threw a great first shot, threw that rock very nice, made a hit, just didn't quite get the roll out. So one end down here in the B qualifier, and Team Plett will take a 1-0 lead over Team Miura after one end of play at the Saville U25 challenge, and we'll be back after the break.
got 2 goals.
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
So we're back for end number 2 in our game here between Myla Plett and Yuina Miura. Plett hitting and staying on her second shot in the first end. Unintentional stay, but certainly not the end of the world. She picks up a point. Both teams played an okay first end. And also showed a little bit of aggressiveness on the side of Plett, which we really like. It's more fun to commentate, more fun to watch. Just a little more stress on the parents sometimes, but... So the out-turn corner guard going up for Miura. This one's sliding pretty good at going a little bit deep, but no, I think it's going to sit in a really just about a perfect place. Don't want to be too much longer than that, so the girls are happy with it. These teams high five as much as anybody. And really, they have great attitudes. I noticed that certainly, no matter how they do or how they play, it's really tough to tell. Can be winning by a bunch, losing by a bunch, and they look exactly the same. They just have the same cheerfulness, generally speaking. It's a good attitude to have for most teams, to be honest. And we saw it last night as well with Whitbread's team from out here as well. It's had a rough few ends at the end, but you never would have known it. So this one's coming a little deep. Don't think you want to be quite that far back. So Miura's going to play the hit and roll behind the corner guard. She could ignore it and go behind the corner, but it gets a little bit convoluted if you do it this early in the game when you don't necessarily have to yet, because if you go around the corner and Plett throws up another guard or a guard, all of a sudden you're chasing pretty hard for the early in the game. So be aggressive, but be a little bit more selectively aggressive, as I like to say. Got a curl though. Here it comes. Roll a little bit more. Not going to stay. So just a little too much ice or a little too much weight. Not really sure. You don't hear them, as you guys don't either. We don't have mics on players, so we're not quite sure what they're saying most of the time. Sometimes we can tell by the way they wave the broom around or tap here, tap there, but sometimes it's just pure guesswork based on what all our many years of curling have told us we would think you'd play. So second stone again, Chloe Fediak. Playing just a 12-foot, 8-foot draw, basically. Looks like Myla's looking at top 4, so maybe that last shot really wasn't deeper than it was supposed to be. These guys look like they want to take it in a little bit further. Good shot, though. Another chance for the roll behind the corner from Miura. It's going to be closer. Oh, they need to get on just a little bit sooner. Just a little fold, maybe a little difference in the weight between the two players' shots, and didn't quite get the roll. Had to sweep at that just a little bit earlier. Fidiak once more. This one's going to have to move a little bit too. I think she's got a solid chunk. I'm not quite sure she's got enough to hang around yet. Yeah, she's going to be okay. Rolls well away from the corner. It's not so bad either. So the same shot for the Miura team. They're going to try that hit and roll behind the corner once more. Probably wouldn't be shot rock when it stops. But if you can get it behind the corner, you might be able to make something work for it. As the end goes on here. Not going to roll that way. Going to try to flop it the other way, maybe. It's actually going to work out pretty nice. I don't think it's shot rock. The overhead would sort of make it look like the yellow is shot rock. Probably not a big difference either way. I would imagine that Plett will look to remove it. Whether going to play the run back. Get rid of it that way. It's a short run back, so it's a reasonable call for Alyssa Nedowin. A little extra weight at the end. It's a motion we never used to see in curling, but it's pretty common with most curlers now. This looks really good. And it's going to be perfect. It's a great shot. Really good shot. So Miura's going to look to have her third. Who's her third? Matsunaga. Hey, you could make the double and roll behind the guard here if everything worked out perfect for you. I think you might not be able to quite get far enough. This one's curling pretty hard. You want to get at least a piece. And she will get that piece. Not very much of it. I have to believe maybe a little tight on that one. They did get on it very very early, which is usually a pretty good indicator that the person was a little bit inside. They will tell their sweeper right away that they're tight, or the skip will be hollering at the other end right away. So you usually know pretty quick when somebody's a little bit inside the broom. Plett looking to go around the corner. Looking to just kind of force Miura into taking one here in this end. Just don't want this one to slide behind the tee line is all. Listen, Nedowin. Line looks pretty good. Definitely a great line. Now, how deep will it go? Well, a little bit deeper than they would have wanted, but not terrible by any stretch. Would have stopped another foot and a half higher, would have been a little bit better. You can draw down to this and maybe be in a place where it's going to be really hard to remove it. Might not be shot, but you're building towards getting a 2 here is the goal, so. Third stone, i.e. Matsunaga. one needs to curl. It's curl pretty hard, really. Might be a little bit heavy. Can she get over to the yellow? And she will get really close and doesn't bounce too much off it. So really fine shot, and actually has shot rock as well. So a fine shot by the Miura third. See it again here. It does look like it's never going to get over there. Sweepers are waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm sure they want to try to carve it over there, but they also know the weight is there. So they don't want to sweep it and have it go by. It just comes in and settles down nicely. A great result there. So Team Plett having a little team discussion here. What do we do? It is a little bit difficult to remove that. So I think the call is probably come right down to the red one. Maybe you move it a little tiny bit. You may not, you may or may not have shot rock, but you would be very close. Problem is she doesn't have hammer. There's only 2 to come, so you haven't got a lot of time to move things around. But you definitely couldn't. You could throw that really hard if you could just skinny the guard to get rid of everything, but that would be everything, and then you're probably having Miura get a blank end after that. So trying to avoid that. Just a little bit maybe T-line weight, maybe even, you know, back button, back 4 at most, I think would be what you'd be playing here. Girl's going pretty hard on this now. So it's coming in nicely. Don't think she got shot rock. It's a great setup, especially if you had more than 1 rock left. I think if you're Miura now, you're going to draw down to the yellow one on the other side. You can see there a pretty good shot that definitely red is shot rock. Here it goes on the other side, just goes even on the other side. Right there would be perfect. If it goes back to that one, still pretty darn good. I don't think it's there would be a possibility, I suppose, that Plett could come down and just hit her own yellow on the red, and she get about a half a rock, go over and take the other one out, and sitting a whole bunch when she was done, but really tough. I think the call here really is, I personally just think it's a relatively easy call. I think you've got to split the house. T-line would be perfect, but like I say, anything pretty much right down to the yellow rock would be fine. As long as it didn't overcurl. You want to be sitting 2 when you're done here. This one's going to be fine. Just got to be careful. You don't want to stay with this. Don't let it get away from you. Definitely don't want it to over curl. And you need to stop about now. Well, they're, I think, a little tiny bit fortunate. I just think they needed to come off that just a hair sooner. This almost took that past the point of being shot, and also took it to where it is possible to make this cross-host double that we just discussed. So I'm not quite sure why they swept it back that far. I mean, you had to get pretty close to that far because you wanted to be at least first or second shot, one or the other. It didn't really matter as long as you're one of two. As long as you're sitting two after that shot, you're fine. But you can be fine, and then you could be finer. And I think it could have been slightly finer just by coming off that brush just a little bit sooner. So if Myla Plett's going to take a run at this, you haven't got a whole lot to lose here. You're going to be, you're going to get rid of the red for sure behind the yellow. As long as you throw it good and throw it at the stick, you're going to get rid of that. And there's a definite possibility you could go over and bump the other red out. You don't have to bump it out. You just bump it 2 feet, 1.5 feet, probably a foot to sit 3. And probably 2 feet to sit 4. But still a tough shot. It's a 8-foot cross-host double. You need some weight, and you can't afford to miss the top one. That's the key here. Make sure that you at least make contact. And she's going to do that. Going to curl too much for the double. Might get shot rocked, though, if this bounces in, and does. So that's a pretty good shot. Makes this shot much harder. You can see there on the ultra zoom, that would be the ultra zoom we've got going on there. You can see that you could hit the top one, hit half a rock, make the double, and just roll over to close to the top of the 4-foot for 2. And that's what she's playing. But not super easy. Getting 1 should be fairly simple, but getting 2 is going to come with a little bit more of a challenge. So Yuina Miura turn hit. You have to make sure you get enough of that top yellow one to move the back one, but you almost have to miss it for that not to happen. But not going at this with a lot of weight. Gotta hold this straight. Gotta hold it. I don't think she's gonna hold it for 2, and she will not. Miura suffering the same fate as Plett in the first end when she really didn't want to hit it on the nose, but does. And we'll pick up 1 point, and we will be tied at 1 after 2 ends of play here in the B qualifier at the Saville U25 challenge.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey everyone, we are back for end number 3. Jim Nix with you here at the U25 Challenge. Saville Curling Center. Reminder too that these games are brought to you by Curling Stadium Edmonton this week. And you can watch everything on YouTube at the Curling Zone YouTube site, Curling Stadium. Either one of those will get you to the games. We'd appreciate you signing up, liking, subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything and gives us an opportunity to help us out and keeps you abreast of what's going on everywhere in the curling world. Go back and watch whatever games you want to watch from earlier this year and take in the rest of this weekend and future events as well. So Plett with the hammer back. Lead stone Ali Iskew. He has to come around this fairly tight guard. Taking his time curling. Never quite got to where they wanted it, but not a bad effort. Beautiful weight. Lead Yuina Takahashi. No turn, soft weight. Try to get a little inside roll. Won't get that. But a good throw just the same. Iskew being asked to remove that one, move the red, and if you could ever get a little tiny bit of an inside roll, that would be great. In lieu of that, an outside roll would be okay. But this one's curling quite a bit. They might get to the inside. They will. That's a heck of a shot. Very nicely done by Ali Iskew. That was not a lot of room to work there. You can see it on the replay. Everybody's just taking their time, waiting for it to make its move. And just because the weight is perfect, which it really does take, she gets a big move here. And they skinny by the guard. Then get the inside roll. So very well done. Yuri's going to play the intern draw, intern freeze, basically, is what she's looking at here. You're going to have to work very hard on this one. And she's not going to get to where she wanted to be. Leaves another guard out front. They don't have hammers, so guards are helpful, but perhaps not super helpful in this case. She would like to have definitely been a little bit further. So Myla Plett contemplating what to do here. Stone Chloe Fediak. And she will make it to the rings. Very good. Miura's going to play the hit and 4 or 5 foot roll to behind cover. And she hits it. Doesn't get the rolls. Not on the rings. Myla Plett now will play the draw around that rock. Thought Miura might play the run, one of the little short run backs on one of her 2 red ones in front there. Or if not a run back as such, even just, let's get this into the house. Would be behind at least 1, maybe 2 guards. Thought that might be a good play. Here might be a little bit hot. Sweepers are doing not much, but it's coming down. That'll work at this point. Looks like Miura's going to stick with the draw here. Come right around the center guards. They are your guards, so if you can make this good, you'll be well guarded by your own stones, which is a good thing. And they'll be able to sneak it by, and they will not. So they've got the front well protected with their own stones. Just a matter of figuring out how to get one in there at this point. Well, might want to do something with some of those. The reds are a little bit crossed over each other. Staggered a little bit on the wrong way, but a tough call because you're looking at, do I need to move something with these guards? And they're guarding my rock really nicely right now. But it is a very dangerous situation to have 3 red ones right there. Unless the netto one's going to come down and have a little quick chat about it. If you're not going to do that, then you're probably going to come around on the out turn. But I think I'd like to move at least one of these reds. Looks like she's going to move the one right by the broom. Try not to come up too much. You'd definitely rather not jam this, because it takes away part of your end, although that yellow in the 4-foot is in a pretty nice position. The top 2 guards are crossing over each other a little tiny bit. So another one. The in-turn hit. Pretty firm. This is going to be fine, I think. She should miss the back one. Yeah, it's right on the nose. Thought it was curling a little bit more than that, but... So interesting call coming from Miura now. I think you could run the one that's just biting the center line. I think you can get by the top good enough to make that shot. It's almost a nose hit. Third stone, Matsunaga knows what she's going to play now. Just head back to throw it. No, she's not playing that tap after all. I really thought she was going to, so she's just drawing through the port. That's an excellent shot if you make it. Of course, we say that about every shot most of the time. There's not too many shots you make that are bad shots. There's a few, but not too many. This could be really, really good. I think she's got enough room to get by that one. If she does, and if it's not heavy, but it is heavy. Fortunately, I got fooled again by the rock tracking down there. It just looks like it's not moving very fast, and it's going a lot faster than I think. So great line. If it had been any lighter, probably going to hit the red one. That wouldn't have been good either, but... So Miura's in some trouble. Plett with hammer. She got 3 rocks left to Miura's 2. Toughest thing here is there's just so many ways for Miura to get one in there that could be difficult to remove. So it looks like Plett's going to try to beat her in. Around top 8 foot, top 12, top 4 foot even would be good. Going hard. They're trying to come off of that outside. Maybe they're just tapping the outside one. Might have been the call. Very nice shot. If it was. Sure didn't seem to get an indication that they were going to play that, but it worked out fine. So Miura's in a bit of trouble. Maybe a bit might be a bit of an understatement as well. So she's in potentially a heap of trouble here. Maybe thinking about ways to not give up the farm here. So you got to figure out. Be thinking ways to minimize the damage. So maybe find a way to hold Plett to no more than 1 and 2 at the very outside. I keep looking at the shot. I thought they were going to play after the discussions on the previous shot. Was a kind of a tap, if not a run back, at least a tap up on this red. A lot of discussion on this shot. It's a big shot. The other team's sitting 3. You've only got 2 rocks to come, and you don't have hammer. So I'm not 100% sure what she's playing here. I think she's playing a tap on the red. I don't think that you can make the draw with that ice. You'd have to throw it too hard and it would go right through again. So I think it's a tap on the top red. Just not 100% sure. So Yuina Miura. These guys really need this shot. They need it to be in there somewhere for at least number 2 and not available to the Plett team. That's very good. That's a very good shot. It doesn't maybe feel like it to you, some of you, but that's a very, very good shot. She was in a heap of trouble. You'll see this. There's nothing special here. It's just a matter of making sure the weight and line is correct. We can't really see it real good there, but obviously the line's good. If she had a little more weight, that would have been good too, but that weight's fine as far as getting number 2, which was paramount, I think, on that shot to anything else, to be honest. So this one could take a little time as well. As soon as it gets to be a lot of rocks in play, for every level of curling, the game takes more time. And that's just the way it is because it gets a little complicated. It's a bit of a guessing game, too, as to what the other team will play. If I play this, what will they do? You know, that kind of a scenario. And you've got to run those through in your head. Hopefully you're going to have covered some of those before the other team even threw their shot. So he's definitely raising the yellow stone. She raises this almost straight back. She could actually split the one that she's the target stone, her one beside her broom, and the one just biting the 8-foot. Could split those and end up sitting 2 or 3 after this shot. Certainly difficult, but definitely possible. So Myla Plett with her first rock here in the third end. Just needs sort of back 8-foot weight. Maybe a little bit more than that even works. And there's the split. And wow, just exactly right. That's an excellent shot. Just to see that shot is excellent because it was not easy. You'll see it here. Plett's going to play the raise. If you were sitting 2 after this shot, you wouldn't be unhappy. But she's trying to sit 3, and she will do that. It's just going to hit perfectly and roll. And not only that, everything's buried. Like everything that you hit is buried. The first stone and the second rock are both, well, I guess they're not totally buried. I just know there was a hole there, but still. That's a little bit unlucky, but fortunate for Miura because now she at least has a bit of an out. Either way, that was a heck of a shot by Myla Plett. Well done. Big shot from Miura here. She's facing 3. Needs to get through this hole for starters. Will it curl enough? It's staying way out there. She might be able to make a roll in off of the red. She can get it somewhere over there. Ooh, yeah, she did leave it basically right in the middle of the hole as well. So, a bit unlucky. I don't know if it just went straighter than they anticipated or what. It sure didn't curl much. Or if she helped it out there, who knows. But almost got away with it. We'll see it here. It's already out there, and it's just not trying very hard to curl, which is a bit of a surprise. They just now decide they want to try to move it. Maybe they were a little late with that, but they probably didn't think they had to. So Myla Plett now trying to decide on how to get rid of that red one. I think the trick here is not worry about making everything count. You can go through here on, looks like a fairly decent sized hole. Whichever the stagger works for, probably the outturn works better as far as the stagger on the two guards, the red and the yellow. A little harder to stay on the outturn, but doesn't matter a whole lot. You're gonna have we'll get 3 even if you roll out here. She's going in turn, I think. Just feels like a much smaller hole in the in-turn than the out-turn. And they're really, the two guards are almost parallel or almost equidistant from the house. So they're not really, it's not really much of a stagger at all in the guards, but it looks like it to me when I look at it down the sheet. But so Myla Plett with a chance for 3, minimum 3 here, if she can get through that hole. She's very, very close. She might even stay. She will not stay, but it's still a great shot by Myla Plett. Chances were very minimal that you would stay on that, and she will pick up a 3 spot here in the third end and take a 4-1 lead. We're going to look at it one more time before we go to break. Throws it down there, throws it well, throws solid weight, which is a way to go about that shot. There's not a lot of room if you start trying to finesse that one out. And called very well by Alyssa Nedouin. Bang, roll out, and pick up 3. So very nicely done for Team Plett, and they will lead 4-1 as we head to the break.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
So 3 ends in the books here in this B qualifier game between Plett and Miura. Plett's up 4-1 now after a 3 spot there in the third end. Reminder once again, all the games have are on the Curling Stadium YouTube site. Men's and women's games are all up. Unfortunately, we only have one game this weekend commentated, but the rest of the games, if you want to watch somebody, they're certainly there for you to see. And we do apologize for not being able to tell you exactly what the next game is. We did have a question regarding that, but we aren't sure what game that will be yet. It will depend on a lot of things, and we don't have everything in front of us for that. So we will let you know when we know. So that will be predicated too on who wins and loses as well, and where they drop, and on the sheet, on the draw sheet. So Plett has one in. She's going to throw a tight guard here. Miura threw up a corner guard. Turned out not too bad. This one's going to curl to a very nice spot, actually. Miura can't really do much with that. It is touching the center line, so it's not really movable. So you got to be careful with this shot. You're going to play the in-turn, come around, freeze kind of thing. But you don't want to touch that one at the top, just off the house, because if you do, it's going back and yours is coming off. The other option maybe would have been the out turn, come around the red one, but regardless, she's playing this now, and there's lots of room. They just got to manage it right as they go down the sheet. Can't let it curl, and that's what's happening. I think she's going to make contact with the yellow, and if she does, it's going to end up going back. Pretty sure the rule is it has to go back and the shooter has to come off. I don't think you have an option of leaving it. That's pretty good. She just gave that a little kick to put it in the right spot, and I think she got it pretty darn close. You're being very honest, saying just move it over this way a little bit. And she did, just a very, very little bit. Had to be careful with that shot. That's the only reason why I was a little bit hesitant on it. For anybody that doesn't know that, you cannot move that rock. If it's touching the center line, you cannot move it off of the center line until after the fifth rock of play. So that's why it went back. It's a no-tick rule, but it's beyond the former no-tick rule, which really was just you couldn't take rocks out of play. If they did, then they would go back. But this one is not out of play. It's just off that line. So she'll be at liberty if she wants on the next shot to go ahead and hit it or try to make a double, whatever she wants to do. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see her do that because it's just getting way too messy here. Well, she's going to play a little tap. Or at least at this point, that's what she's calling. Down 4-1. I know you don't want to lose your corner guard or anything like that, but I don't know if I would play this. I think I'd probably try to move that one on the center line, maybe roll over and set up a second corner guard. See how second stone Yuina makes out here. Gotta get to the nose if you can. She does. Pretty close. Not quite to where she wanted to be, but a pretty darn good try for Sakuma. Looking to remove the red. In-turn hit for Chloe Fediuk. Hopefully we're saying that name right. We apologize to Chloe and family for not saying it properly, but the best we can come up with. So Miura's got to get something going here. It's going to the fourth end. It's not that you have to score big, but you certainly would like to get a couple. And probably more importantly, you'd like to make some good shots here. There's a lot of shots that are just, they're not quite sharp enough. This one's going to be right in the middle. Need to maybe roll behind the... There you go. Not necessarily the best place, but better to roll there than to stay right in the middle. Plett looking to play the run back. Short. It's only probably 3.5 feet or so. She's going to try to drive her own on the red. Last third stone. Alyssa Netta went to do this. Might have been a tiny little bit on the outside of the rock. Will it get over enough? It's going to be close. Don't think it's going to quite get there. Not quite sure why they weren't trying to carve that one over a little bit. They didn't really make any effort to do that, and it's surprising to me. It was so close. She only just had to move it. If you could move it an inch, you would have at least got rid of that stone. You're going to play a draw here. Ai Matsunaga. Still got to make that yellow one rather disappear if they're going to score more than a point, or even if they're going to score a point pretty near. Well, you might have to do something good here soon. This one is going to be a little short, I think, but nope. I should have known better every time I ever say that, because they look like they're hardly moving, and then you get to the overhead and they're moving just fine, thanks. The sweepers did a great job getting it to where it is. That was a full out sweep all the way down the sheet. Not easy. Myla Plett indicating, we can do this, we can do that, we could do this. What do you think? She's going to play her own. I think she's going to play her own on this shot. Problem with that is that if you don't get rid of both reds, and depending on where you're going to hit this, you might just open up your rock in the button. Quite possibly. Make it much more accessible for Team Miura. Those are all trying to get on the same page here on this shot. This could turn out very good. You can be in a very good position after this shot. But there is not, it does come with a little bit of risk in a couple of ways. And it went throwing it hard. It's going to curl too much. She might take her own out here. And she will. That's one of those shots that I think that when you don't have hammer, you've got to, don't be too aggressive. That rock was in there pretty solidly. And I don't think you had to really go that hard at getting rid of that. Bad luck for sure, but just the same. There was some risk there that you might have been able to not take. Anyway, worked out good for Miura. She now has a chance to draw in set 3. When I was 2 shots ago trying to figure out how she was ever going to get that rock off the forefoot. Not completely out of the woods. There's certainly a yellow Plett stone there at the top of the 8-foot that's very usable for Myla on her rocks. This one's got a curl as well. So just not curling till the very last minute right now. They need to get a little rub. They didn't get a little rub, but it will stay. Sitting 3. Just if you could have ever just got just a tiny little bit of a rub there, I think it would have been better. Keep that rock above the tee line, but Myla Plett wants to do it. If she does, she could play the draw down to the one that the Japanese squad just played. Maybe even get shot rock. And maybe not be able to be removed, but she's looking at trying to make a double of sorts here. Can she make the double? The question is, can she make the double on the, looking at it on the overhead, on the red in the center and the red on the left? Can she make that double? And then when she does her shooter roll over and come off of the yellow, maybe even roll in a little bit? That's what we're going to see here in a minute. Something along that line. She's definitely trying to make the double, so she's going to be looking to hit only probably a half, maybe a little tiny bit more than half of that stone. Should be pretty happy with making a double here with a 4-1 lead, and considering that she's in some pretty big trouble now with only 2 rocks each to come. Myla Plett. Calling the sweepers off. This looks pretty close to me. Oh, just missed. They actually did need to keep that just a little bit straighter. I thought she had it. She probably thought she had it too, really. But instead, Miura's going to be drawing to sit 3. This is one of these ends that, you know, the Plett team's thinking, wow, we're in some deep doo-doo here. It's like, she makes this shot, we're going to be looking at 3. We've got to do something to get out of this end without giving up a 3 spot, if we can possibly do that. And the Miura team looking at it saying, that yellow rock that's just biting the 8-foot could come back to haunt us here. Can't really do anything about it. Not worth the risk. We just saw what risk happens sometimes. So Miura going to draw basically the tee line behind the corner guard. Could be a little above the tee line, it would be fine. Definitely got to get by the guard, that's for sure. Both sweepers on the same side here, trying to keep it from over curling. Going in now. Maybe a little bit too deep again, I think. No, it's going to be really good. That's nicely done. That's just, you have to pick your poison there. You could have tried to leave that a little bit higher, just be number 3, but just barely be number 3, maybe full 8-foot. And if you do that, Myla Plett might have to play the run back or the tap on the yellow, or come around Joe or something like that. By going where she did, Plett could play the freeze that she just played. And take the end away, actually, if she makes it good. And that's probably what she's playing. It doesn't look like quite enough ice to me for a draw, but I don't think that it's, I don't know, I don't think it's ice that it's going to take any rocks out of play, so. I think it's a one or the other here. You're going to go play the straight freeze, or you're going to try to somehow move something, but I just don't want to get caught in between with this shot and end up just touching the red and rolling to the button wide open for possibly a 4. So I'm starting to go hard now. Might turn out to be enough ice. Yeah, it's going pretty hard. Just thought like it looked a little bit tight. This is going to be really close. No, she's not going to get by, and she will roll to an open space. That would have been really, really good if she had just another foot of weight or another half an inch of ice. May not have gotten shot rock, but would have probably been 2, sitting number 2 at least behind the guard. So Yuina Miura, with an open hit for 4 here in the 4th end. We just saw a 3 in the last end and a 3 in the 3rd end. If Miura can make this, she'll get a 4 in the 4th end. So it's on its way. A little tight out of her hand, I think. Can she hold it? Can she hold it? I don't know that she can. This has got to stay straight. She's gonna lose one of them. So she got away with it a little bit. It was pretty scary there for a while. It looked like it could curl way too much and maybe only get 1 point, but she will get a 3. So no 4 and 4, but picks up a 3, and we have a tie game as we go to the 4th end break between Miura of Japan rather, and Plett here from out here in Calgary. We're out here in Edmonton, and we'll be back right after the break.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So we haven't settled much here after 4 ends of play. After back-to-back singles in the first 2 ends and back-to-back threes in the next 2 ends, we're all knotted up at 4 with 4 ends to go. Here in the B qualifier at the Saville U25 Challenge, featuring some of the best young teams in the world. on both the boys and the girls side, men's and women's side. And here we go in the fifth end with lead stone Yuina Takahashi, delivering this first stone. That got off the hook a little tiny bit in that end where she could have easily given up 4. And Miura got a little bit off the hook because she almost curls another inch and she jams it and maybe only gets 1. Center guard up for Miura. Aliescu. The intern come around. Pretty good shot there. Miura coming around. Very nice shot for lead Yuina Takahashi. Myla Plett will follow that down. Ask Aliescu just to put one on top of the red. Don't want to bounce off of this one for sure. Could be very good if it just curled. I just needed to curl just a hair more. A good effort by Aliescu. Ali, one of the 2 girls on this team that participated in the 2024 Youth Olympics. Chloe Fediak being the other, along with a couple of junior curlers from my neck of woods, just up the road from where I live in Nova Scotia here. Owen Fisher and Nathan Gray. This is a nice looking shot, just a great shot. So that's going to probably have to think about opening this up here now. She's allowed to do so. You'll see this one coming in. It just works its way over beautifully. Nice weight, didn't overthrow it. It's the hardest thing on these situations is not to overthrow a shot. Great shot. So the outturn peel coming now for Chloe Fediak. Might be trying to run this back. Not going to get anything there. Unfortunately, leaves a guard as well. So a little bit of trouble brewing early here for Team Plett. Miura will look to throw another guard. Just off the, even just on the center line would be fine. And this one a long way out. Will it get over there? I think it probably will, but it's going to be a little bit heavy as well. Don't want to be in there where she can run this one back. Might have got away with it. Not totally, I don't think. Fairly easy double here. Would still leave Miura with one in there, but you'd probably stay here. So you're number 2, number 3, so that wouldn't be so bad. Got to come up a little bit more to make the double. Looks like it might be just a jam. That's unfortunate. Need to get a hair more curl out of that. Didn't make the situation much better with a second chance for Miura to throw up the guard. Definitely a little bit of trouble still going on for Plett. Good opportunity there to get out of a lot of it, but didn't happen. So second stone, Yuina on her second rock here, we'll try to move that over and be a little bit shorter than on her first shot. Pretty good right there, really. It's a very nice shot. So appeal attempt here for Alyssa Nedowin, and a big push on this one. Trying to get some extra weight on it. This could be okay. Very nicely done. Got rid of all the guards. Very nice shot. It's a long time to learn. Put that extra weight on with the big push is something that we never ever did for years and years and years. And more in recent years is what used to be a bit of an extension has become a really large extension. And in fact, if you need it, which obviously Alyssa did there, becomes a big push. And it's hard to do that and keep it online. She did a great job on that one. Guard going back up. They really want to get this over a little bit to take that yellow one out of play, and they did. That's a perfect guard. Perfect guard for third stone. Matsunaga. Ai Matsunaga. So another peel attempt coming for Alyssa. She's going to get a chance to practice these. This is about her third one today. So the out turn, you'll see the big extension. Looks like she put it right on target. If she can get some curl here, she might get, and she does, get everything. What a terrific shot by Alyssa Nedowin. Everybody's excited. The front end's super excited to see this again. Definitely worth watching this one again. She comes out, gives it the big push, but with a straight arm. Puts it right on line and runs the yellow into the red into the yellow, and a double takeout for it to boot. So you can't do it any better than that. Team Miura must be thinking, what happened here? We were looking like we could steal a point or two in this end, and we ended up with nothing. Guard probably just a little bit tight, but sometimes you just got to give credit where credit's due, and Nayoro just made a heck of a shot. Yeah, good hit by Miura here. Looking to just stay in the middle of the sheet. Myla Plett would love to get a little roll here behind that corner guard. Question is, do you take that on, or do you just say, well, let's hit it in the middle and work on getting our blank end? Last time they tried to go with this blank end, it didn't work so good, but Myla Plett looking to make the in-turn takeout. Here in the fifth end. Her first rock in the fifth. And this one looks fine. Just going to hit it on the nose, stay right there. Nice throw by Myla. Here, like to roll over behind the corner. Try to force Plett to draw for one. Or at least make it a little bit more challenging for her to make the takeout. This one's going to have to curl a little bit by what it looks like. And she's going to roll far enough. Will she get over there far enough? And she will. That's a great shot. That's a terrific shot by Yuina Miura. We'll see here. They didn't even have to do anything with it practically, just till the end. Need to come up a little bit at the end. I always worry about them making it come too far, but they did this just perfectly. Then the roll. Sweeper knew exactly where the guard was as well, getting some help from the person in the house. And just a lovely shot. So Plett can pick it out. I think there's enough room to pick it out because you're going to be, probably can see an inch or two of it, probably 2 inches of it. Fifth end, not necessarily an end that you, if this was the sixth end, I think you just draw and take your point. Fifth end, you might take a run at this. So the brooms goes down and they're going to give it a go. Maybe going to rethink a little bit here. Looks like the coach may have asked her to rethink this one a little bit. And sure enough, they're going to play the draw. It's always nicer to be up than down, so I figure that drawing for one here is much easier than trying to pick that one out. So they will opt for the draw. So Myla Plett with her final stone here in the fifth end, drawing against one that's just full 12 foot. So she doesn't need much more than full 12, but girls are going pretty hard. Third stone coming out to give a hand. She might have pulled the string on this. Might have pulled the string. Will they get it there? Looks like they will, maybe. Gotta go, gotta go. Can she get it there? And she does by about 6 inches. So well swept. Great sweeping by the team. They had two sweepers all the way down. One dropped off and Alyssa Nedowan jumped in. Sometimes when you have to reset like that, it's a little bit tough to get your head in the right place. So perhaps a little bit of effort getting straight there. So Plett will pick up one, take a 5-4 lead after 5 ends of play here at the under 25, Saville under 25 challenge.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
So Team Plett, with a 1-point lead here in the sixth end, have delivered one stone already. And it sits at the top of the button, which is probably exactly where Myla called for it. Team Miura will throw up the corner guard. And it'll be game on from here. So, well thrown, good spot, good location. And lead Aliescu will be asked to throw a second rock. In or close to being in. That rock's pretty good. I think I'd be looking at just a tight guard. little bite of that line. That is perfect. Same scenario Miura had a couple of hands ago. She's got to make sure she gets it by that top one. It's just such a hard shot because it's got to curl hard at the end to get there, and you just can't afford to touch it at all. And you can't afford to be heavy, so for a lead stone, this is a darn important shot. It's curling hard again. She may end up pumping the yellow one more time. And will it knock it off that center? And it does, so it's going back. That's a mistake made twice in this game, and you just shouldn't do that. Like, Skipper has got to figure out he needs a few more inches of ice on that shot. In turn, come around now for Chloe Fediak. Troopers going hard. They'd like to sneak this one by their own as well. A little bit of a rub. Miura is going to play the high one, the one that's not on the rings. Well, at least that's the first initial call. She may change that yet. Nope. So looking to make a double here, double and roll to the corner. Just a curl though. Here it comes. She might have the double. And she does. Yeah, the shooter obviously couldn't stay. It just wasn't any way to make that happen, but that's still a very good shot. Plett thinking about peeling the corner. I don't think that's what I would play here, but I'm going to play it. So Chloe Fediak will be asked to make this. And it looks good. Well done. Pretty early in the end, Miura's still going to hit it. I think she's going to hit it.
As I was walking up, some chick just
Well, these teams don't stand in the traditional spot, so for an old geezer, it's sort of like you're thinking, well, I don't usually stand there, so what is she playing? I think she might be playing just a corner guard. She is. It's a very good shot. Very aggressive call. If you assume that she peeled the last one, you're sort of making an assumption she's going to peel this one, and looking for just a little bit of a break here where maybe she leaves one that you could hit roll behind, perhaps. The other one now will be playing a much easier shot than her last shot. And no trouble with that. Miura might go one more corner, and then I think she will not go there again. So exact same ice. Papers indicating zone 2. Should be about halfway between the hog line and the house. So another peel for Nayoro. And once again, no trouble. Want to roll this as far away as they can, though. So Miura's got excited there when that one stopped. Going to go right around. Thought she might try to hit and roll behind, but she's going to play the draw, which is definitely an easier way to get behind that one. If you make it good, you may force Plett to play the guard. And if she makes it twice, she may steal one on you, but again, you like to somebody taking a few chances, playing a little bit aggressive. Gonna have to work really hard. Thrower jumps in now. Helps as everybody gets a little tired naturally. That's good, a little bit light. Would like to get another couple feet out of it for sure. Maybe as much as three or maybe even 4 feet actually. Get back there somewhere a little closer to the tee line. Pretty sure you have to make a play on this. Just depending on which way you want to do it. For Miura now is that if she makes this shot, she might set you up for a double, but either way, you're going to have to either make a double or a couple of doubles. Maybe not a couple, but you're going to have to at least make one double, or you're going to have to make a heck of a shot on your last one to score. Myla Plett with their first skip stone here in the 6th end. A little bit tricky shot, but very makeable. Especially with the really good sweeping that they have on these teams. And carve this one over. Hit it and gonna stay, I think. Does. Pretty good shot because it's not an easy double, and it's be a little tricky. So she's going to try to hit it and just flop right in front of the yellow. It's going to be tough to avoid a force here. So Yuina Miura. In turn, hit. You get a little bit of a roll. It's exactly what you wanted. Nicely done, but Myla Plett's going to guard it now. The only thing with that shot is that you make that, so she made it perfect. Myla Plett guards it unless she completely blows the guard, which I don't expect her to do. You are going to have a hard time scoring. You're going to have to run probably Plett's rock back into the red and into the yellow. I think I really think on that last shot by Miura that she had to play the one on the button and try to maybe roll behind the yellow or something like that, just to, just to avoid this scenario where you might have almost no shot. Like, there's not a lot of room to outdraw that rock. And it's not going to be for two. Like, unless she misses this guard completely, she's going to have one heck of a hard shot to score one. Never mind two. So you're going to look at the run back, and it's going to be just for 1 point. I don't think the last couple of shots were thought out exactly right. Chances were pretty good. You only end up with a shot at one. Might have been easier to get one the other way, but regardless, this is a pretty straightforward run back. It's not super long, so very makeable. Miura delivers. This one's got to curl a bunch. Got to curl a little more yet. Doesn't want to pick it out, and she will not make it. Good effort, but not quite enough there. So Miura will give up a steal. Plett will steal 1 more point, take a 6-4 lead as we go to the 7th end.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts charity bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Team Miura with some work to do here as we go to the 7th. Down 2 with the hammer. Tough last stand. Never really got much of an opportunity getting rid of that rock on the button. Good first stone by Aliescu. And lead Yuna Takahashi here, being asked to put up a corner guard. And she'll do a good job with that one. Also having to work pretty hard on this one. Even the skipper's going out to help. Just every now and then you give somebody a little bit of a break. And between the three of them, they did a great job of sweeping that. Sometimes it's not a benefit to have the skip run out and help with sweeping, but if you're young and a good sweeper and your other two sweepers have come all the way down the sheet, it doesn't hurt for that last little bit. I know skips aren't always the best sweepers, but for a few feet we can go pretty good. And for the youngsters, I think that they can probably go pretty well for further than that. Long guard though, very, very easy for Miura to come around it. But man, this is a long ways out. Well, I just have to believe that she must have thrown that outside. I can't imagine that they had that much ice that it would not get within a foot of the stone. So a hit here for Chloe Fediak. Rose going hard here. This one's curling really hard. I don't think she's going to make contact with the red, or might just touch it. She does. She touched it enough to managed to save both of her yellows. Probably 1-2 actually right now, but early enough in the end that doesn't matter too much. Yuan trying to figure out what to play here. Gonna play the yellow. It's just a matter of what weight she's going to throw here. I think it's really just weight to move it back more than maybe even getting it out. Well, you're probably going to get it out, but just barely. She had a little more on it than I anticipated. Gonna have to go hard to get by, though. And probably not getting by. You come off it and let it stop so you can save it. Unfortunate for a couple of reasons, because now your corner guard's gone as well. You can see the yellow now a little bit better. Obviously, that's a good thing, but missing that corner guard is not a good thing. Part of the issue here is how do you get rid of both reds and save the shooter? It's not easy to do. So Fediak will be asked to hit this top one. I'm not sure exactly how they're playing this, so I'll have to just watch it with you to figure this one out. The easiest way to make the double is to curl over the top and get both reds that way, which is what they're doing. Might jam, though. Oh, take it back. Turned into a good shot. I'm not sure if that's exactly where they were trying to go or not, but might have been. I had the impression they were trying to get rid of both reds, but You're looking around, a lot of yellows in the house right now. You're trying to score a minimum 2 here. And there's just a lot of yellow rocks. And your red one's wide open. So this rock has to be in the house someplace. Looking at playing this shot, or they just come around on the out turn and tap that yellow maybe to the back of the 12 foot somewhere in that area. Might even help protect your rock in the 8 foot a little bit. Timeout call by the Japanese team. A tough call. You got half the end to go here, but you're gonna have to move a little bit, move a few of these yellows a little bit to be able to make something work for you. We say we don't have any mics on anybody, so we're not quite sure what they're saying. And there's sometimes the room's tapping all over the place. We can kind of guess what they're saying, but today they're just listening. That little tap that Yuan just pointed out was the same shot that she was looking at the start of this series of shot chats, if you will, or shot selection. Just trying to tap that yellow back. I think she stayed with that. Not a great deal of ice though, so I'm not sure that she's not throwing a little bit more weight than just back house. Need to make something happen here though, and it's definitely needed to save that shooter. Shooter's getting ready. A little bit unlucky who went over to where it did, but pretty good shot. Would like to have stayed a little bit closer to the center. Ideally, if they could have stayed for at least maybe number 2 or number 3, maybe even, would have been pretty good. But so Alyssa Nettowin will be asked to hit this one and try to avoid jamming it on the back. This has made just about everything in the last few ends anyway. I don't recall where she was the first few ends, but I don't think she was too bad then either. So this one's coming up. Probably pop it right through the hole or jam it on the back one. Jammed it, but didn't hurt. Although Miura now can hit the yellow and sit 2 if she likes. Hit the yellow and roll. Not really even looking at that option. It's not quite sure why they're not at least having a look at that. Looks like she's going to play the draw to the back one. Be a tough draw. I don't think it does you any good to just put it up there. I'm not sure I assume she's trying to go right to the back one. If you're going to throw it in the house on that side, it's going to be a pretty easy removal for Myla Plett. Pretty good shot. A third buried, and it's interesting on the overhead. It just doesn't look like it's buried basically at all. But when you look at the long view, which is what curler's going to be looking at, it's certainly a third at least buried. Makes the call a little bit more reasonable, I think. Although I don't not convinced Miura really looked at the possibility of the hit. But I can see now why she chose that stone, or chose that shot at least. Sweeper's indicating it might have been light. Trying to make the run back here. Going to be close. Will it curl too much? And it will. Strange way. The way that these ends have changed around occasionally in this game is very interesting. So Miura now can actually hit and sit 3. But I don't think she... I could be wrong. I don't know that she really realizes that. Well, here she's at least tapping that rock. Play the draw. Still 3 rocks to come, so still a little bit of time, but you just have a chance here to maybe get 3. If you could get 3 would be far better than 2, and I know there's some risk involved, but you might be at a point where you need to take that risk to set up the possible 3. You could roll off the yellow right to the center line. Anyway, here we go with the in-turn draw for the third Matsunaga. I was going to say she should be lucky if she hit that probably, but that's not a good throw. Sets up a double. And not only that, you're only sitting 1. I just don't know that was the best shot, but anyway, the girls are in a good mood. Obviously, difference if she makes it. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but if she made that perfect where they wanted it, it would have been a good shot, no question. Problem now is the 3 now is probably gone. When a minute ago you had a chance to sit 3, so I don't know. Fairly easy double. There is a jam there, but I think if it jams, I think it might not be counting for much, so just trying to figure out if she jams that. Will it come up against the yellow and stay for number whatever that would be, 4, with the potential of bringing it back into play? Maybe, but still, this is a shot you got to play here. Could let it curl up and go right through the hole. You'd sit 2 that way, 1 behind a guard. But here's Myla Plett. We'll see where she goes with it. Goes on early. Might be a little bit tight. She's going to not make the double, but... And she's not going to stay either. So a second chance for Miura to sit 3, and she just is not taking that. I just do not understand that at all. And I could be wrong, but you'd have to seriously convince me that with 2 rocks to come, that this is not the right time to move that yellow rock. You come around this and make it really good, and Myla just follows you down, you're not going to get more than, maybe you might get 2, but you're definitely not getting 3. You're going to have a wide open miss to get 3 now, and I think you have a good enough situation there that it's worth going for. But she's not, so she's going in, turn around. Definitely got to get by when they're by. Definitely got to be number 1. And they are. So, but they're sitting only number 1 right now. I shot over curled a bit, obviously. You'd like to have been right straight behind the guard. With the curl in this ISO, I think you can play the hack weight takeout on this red one and hit it, stay, maybe even roll a little bit behind the guard. A big shot for Myla Plett. Myla Plett, rather, not Platt. Now we have a timeout coming here. This timeout, no doubt, directed by the coach. Far end doesn't really like this call, I'm assuming. It's interesting because I'm not disliking this call. Could be just a matter of, maybe a matter of weight choice or something. I'm not too sure what it is that he wouldn't like about this, but I just have to assume, since most of the team was at the other end of the rink, that it was the coach that wasn't loving the shot. We'll see what they end up playing after they're done chatting about it. I don't know what another option would be, to be honest. I think you've got to hit that one. I think that might be more what it's about, is where you're going to leave everything. A very lengthy timeout. Here we go. Looks like basically the same shot from what they were going to play. Maybe slightly different weight choice. I'm not really sure. So here we go anyways. Myla Plett's last rock here in the 7th. Chance to hit and sit 2. Didn't overthrow this one. Needs to get by. It's by. Well, definitely a double there. A little bit thin, but definitely there for 3. Even if he ended up only getting 2 out of this would be good. These shots, sometimes you got to be careful you don't make this shot harder than it is. It's really an open hit where you hit about a quarter of a rock to make it. You hit it any thicker than that, you're going over the top. So if anything else, you a little bit thinner than that, you still would probably score. But just a little bit thinner. You got to hit it. Got to hit it hard enough to make it go out at least. So Yuina Miura with her final rock here in the 7th end. Currently trailing by 2, but with a hit for 3, a double for 3. Certainly not a gimme double, but a makeable double. Not too far-fetched to expect to make this one. That's on its way. This is going to be really close. Needs to curl. Needs to curl a little bit. She's going to get 1. I don't know why they didn't try to make that curl a hair, but looks like 1 for Miura. He took it away pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure of that. So that will lead by 1 as she goes to the 8th end with hammer.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So we're back for the 8th and possibly final end of this B qualifier game. Winner of this does qualify for the playoffs, and the loser is not eliminated yet. There's one more opportunity in the evening draw for them to work their way through C and get the final qualifying spot that way. Big difference, the two differences in this game really are the steal won by Plett in the 6th, and Miura not picking up more than one on her last shot there in the 7th when definitely had an opportunity a couple of times through that end to sit 3. Opted not to do that. Had a very makeable double on her last one. Just needed to get a little more curl out of it and didn't quite happen. Bit fortunate that she did score 1. She actually curled enough that she at least scored 1. But and a mistake here for Team Miura. We didn't see the first rock, but I'm assuming then we've had 2 mistakes by this team in trying to throw up a guard because there's nothing in play. And that would indicate that they were able to hit twice, which is really pretty disastrous for sure for the team that's trailing. You're in tough now because now you're in peeling mode where they can run everything. Wow, that one just barely got over. Team Miura having a hard time here in the 8th end. Chloe Fediak playing out turn peel. Don't think she'll have too much trouble with this one. It's coming up pretty good though. She's okay. It's really just going to be a case of throwing up the guards and watching Team Plett peel them and hoping for a bit of a break somewhere that allows you to come around. You'd like to have those guards a little deeper than that. You're probably not going to get an opportunity at getting 2 of them up there. So if you ever get one nose hit, you'd like it to be somewhere you can use it. And these are so high, or these last 2 are so high at least, that they're going to be very difficult to use. Kodiak, another no problem with appeal. Girls are having a heck of a hard time here. Throwing a... that was not too bad. I'm figuring if they don't come into view on our overhead shot, then they're just not close enough to the house. And Alyssa Nedowan, who seems to have thrown a lot of those kinds of shots the last 3 hands, makes another one. Just trying to move that guard around a little bit, see if he can find buy a break somewhere along the way. So not a bad idea. You don't want to keep throwing in the exact same place all the time. You'd rather have a guard, even if it was guarding full 8-foot or something, than have no guard by putting it on the center line time after time after time after time. So listen, Edwin, no trouble with that. You have the ability to throw a big weight and throw it straight. You're going to make a lot of peels. So Miura is going to go around that corner guard. I don't mind that call at all. You run out of time. You might as well use what little bit you have there. So Yuina Miura playing the intern draw around the corner. Not great line if it's got enough weight. Will it sneak by? It will not, but it will spin a little bit that way. And it's still there, so you might get another chance to use it. It's not a great rock, but it's better than having nothing. Myla Plett with her first of 2 here in the 8th. This looks pretty good. If it stays, it's really good. It won't stay, so we'll give Miura a chance to try around that corner again. Basically the same shot with just another 2 or 3, maybe 4 feet of weight. You want to bury this. Doesn't really matter how deep it goes. Because Myla Plett will play just a draw to the button, draw to the house, draw to the 4-foot. If it's buried completely. So you don't need to worry about taking it behind the tee line. You just need to get it buried. That's a very nice shot. Well done. That's as good as you could really do it. And the fact that it's a little tiny bit open is even better. You just want to tease her a little bit, make her think about maybe playing the takeout. But you're not going to fool her. She's going to just go around and throw an out-turn draw. Just needs not even full 8 foot, but let's say you need full 8 foot and so final draw to win the game for Myla Plett. Sweepers are comfortable with the speed. Could be a tiny little bit warm. This is going to be hard pressed to stop. And they're trying to get it back. And will she get it far enough? It is close, close, close. But I think it hung on by about an inch. It is 1 yellow. And Myla Plett will lock up a spot in the playoffs tomorrow with a 7-5 victory over Yuina Miura. Well, I guess they're still looking, but I thought she pointed at it. So, yeah, there we go. So, it was a good game, back and forth. A couple of missed opportunities, but as it is, Plett will move on, and Miura will play in the C qualifier in the 7 o'clock draw tonight, where they will face Soo-Young Kim of Korea. So congrats to Team Plett. For myself, Jim Nix, and Connor Sim in production, we will see you again at 7 p.m. local time tonight.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, thanks, Jake.
Awesome job.
Okay,
I
great.
thought I had Rory on to join you, but for whatever reason, it didn't end up working out for him. So
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I thought at the start he was there, but I guess not. Must have been Connor I was hearing first. So
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll see you back here in a couple hours.
sounds great. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Yeah, good. Bye.
Cheers.